What the?
What the?
Damn, that was a big one.
Got a good group
Dogman meeting call down here.
We actually got a half Dogman at the bottom left corner, right corner down there with the mask on.
Ooh,
Some kind of cryptic.
So how's everybody doing today? I hope everybody has a good day.
Oh yeah, doing good.
I'm better than I was yesterday. I'm sick yesterday.
Oh no,
You're feeling better.
Oh yeah, I'm feeling better. I don't know. It's just I think the night before when I did like 3 investigations, I didn't get much sleep afterwards, and
that'll do it to you.
Oh yeah,
that bird flu gun around.
We got BL, Rain, Ruthie.
What's going on, everybody?
What's up, everybody?
How's everybody doing tonight?
Rain, Roof, Craigslist. What's up, guys?
Well, tonight we're going to be talking about the one and only Dogman.
Oh, my favorite. That was a good impression, whoever did that, by the way.
Oh, yeah? You caught on to that?
I did. That was very cool. Nice.
Past life, acting like he was in my basement for hours, and he wasn't.
You know, I even forgot to tell you. I was just joking. I totally forgot to.
But, yeah, we are going to be talking about Dogman and see if anybody has experience. Dakota was telling me about his experience.
Oh, yeah? You had an encounter? Or?
A bit of an encounter, yes. I was checking out some reports in my area of people claiming they're seeing werewolves down in the woods. I was like, you know what? It's an hour for me. I could use a bit of a hiking trip. And I went up there and started getting deeper into the woods. Started seeing claw marks on trees. I was like, all right. Maybe a bear? I don't know.
It depends. How many claw marks were there?
Then it was about 4 at the if I recall.
There you
correctly.
go. Dogmen usually have 5, so.
Well, then, as I was going through, I ended up coming across was a deer carcass that was torn up pretty good and smelled pretty fresh, just to put it mildly, for since 2 years. Then I was looking through the trees, watching around me because I started getting this feeling that something was watching. I started seeing these eyes. Yeah, I was approaching on their turf, and they may have been getting ready to try to pounce me if I hadn't gotten out of there, because I did not have any guns on me.
Yeah, sorry about that. It was a Monday morning. I just woke up before work.
POE.
Ruthie.
What's up?
Asher,
what area?
Yeah, what area was this?
I'm actually in Idaho, Salty National Forest. It's
ooh, okay.
Right up where there's a ski resort that was roughly 30 minutes down the road from it, where I had also seen a Bigfoot and had maybe one come out at me while I was trying to set up a bait trap.
Nice.
So, yeah, I'm here in Idaho. We got plenty of cryptids running around out here.
You do. There's a lot out there. There's a lot out here too in Arizona. Yeah, we got Skinwalker. We even have Wendigo allegedly. So I don't want to see one, but yeah, they say we have Wendigo out here.
I've had Skinwalkers pop up here too.
Really?
Yeah. Ugly motherfucker.
I bet.
As far as I know, Second Star was telling me that we had a Dogman in Virginia, but
oh, you do. You absolutely do.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he did tell me that one time. He warned me that they are actually living in tunnels and stuff like that. So for me to be careful
Oh
when I was
yeah.
going. Yeah. Hmm.
Yeah, you gotta be really careful in those. That's actually the theory that me and Matt share, that they live in tunnels and washes and riverways and places like that.
Makes sense.
You
Yeah,
have
you
any
want-
Yeah.
Dogman experience, Ryan?
Yeah, I saw one about 15 feet away.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that was
Ooh.
pretty close. Yeah, I got a good look at it too, man. So somebody tried to tell me it was just a loose hyena, and I'm going, in Arizona though. There's no loose hyena in Arizona.
Yeah. Oh yeah. People always gonna try to skeptic out and say, "Oh, it's just this," and because they're
Yeah,
scared of the truth.
it's a common thing, but a lot of the police here actually do believe in cryptids. So if you tell them, they'll believe you.
Huh.
It's interesting.
Hmm.
Because normally cops will just dismiss you and blow you off, but a lot of the cops here in this town, they'll.
Yeah.
Shoot, I had a ask the cop about this paranormal place, and he laughed at me. It was like, there ain't nothing paranormal there. And I'm just like, that means it's
That's because
definitely paranormal.
a lot of people don't know what paranormal really is. They don't know the accurate definition. You say paranormal, and they
Yeah.
just think poltergeist or whatever. They don't actually take into consideration what paranormal really is.
Exactly. I mean, paranormal, UFO, cryptic, and all that. Like,
Oh yeah, dude, cryptids and paranormal go hand in hand. Yes.
yeah, anything of the unknown.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm
Especially
trying.
abandoned and abductions. Happens to
Yeah.
me all the time.
Yeah,
I get
definitely.
abducted all the time.
Absolutely.
Never anal probed. Damn it. Never happens.
Yeah, you gotta hate when you get probed.
Oh no, that one you didn't get anal probe that time. That was just a nubby probe.
Oh, never do I. But because I asked too much. I'm too enthused about it.
Are you too excited?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll have a UFO one day, and I'll get redheaded stepchild up here.
Look at his face. Look at he paused. He went, okay.
And I ain't seen redheaded stepchild.
I saw him the other night. He's doing all right.
Yeah. Talked to him this morning a little bit.
He dropped
sad.
the rap today.
Okay. But yeah, I'm personally trying to learn more as I can about cryptic.
Well,
Like,
it's quite the rabbit hole, Nubs.
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, once you start talking about one, you have to start talking about all of them, basically, and then you just go down all these different avenues.
Mm-hmm.
And it does get pretty frightening sometimes, dude. It gets a little scary, a little dark, but it's all a learning experience for you.
Shire.
He's Shire.
Oh, I love Shire. Shire's great. Yeah, like I know a lot about Bigfoot. Well, not a lot, but I know more about Bigfoot than any of them.
Well, yeah, I mean, that was the most popular one for a while.
Of course.
Not anymore, though. It seems like Dogman's more popular.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Especially here lately.
Yeah, oh yeah, it's because of all the stories out there, all the creepypastas and all the narrations.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. There's Red, speaking of redheaded stepchild.
Speak of the devil, and he shall appear.
And that he shall.
What's going on, Red?
What's up, Red? What's up,
Oh, I don't have Dr. Pepper today, Terry. I got Coca-Cola.
Wait, you actually drink Dr. Pepper, Nubs?
Mm-hmm.
Ew.
What's wrong with
I'm a
Dr. Pepper?
It tastes like prunes, man. It tastes like prunes.
Well, it was laxative medicine, so.
Oh man. Yeah, I love my Dr. Pepper, but
Ew.
they had sales on Coke products, so I just got three 12 packs of Coke.
Oh, there you go.
Hey Carrie, how you doing?
Hello, strange people. I have no idea who you are.
Oh yeah.
What am I-
If anybody knows Parachill, they know you. I'm gonna have Chris up here one day. But yeah, I'm trying to. Oh, hang on.
Hey, Nubs, I'll be back in a little bit.
All right, brother, you got the link.
You gonna be on for a while? Of course you will. You just started 10 minutes ago.
Yeah, I just started.
Yeah.
Well, I've been here. I'm an idiot. All right, man. I'll be right back, guys.
All right,
All
take
right,
it easy.
link.
Okay. Bye.
Bring your little girly friend too. No.
Ah.
What kind of
There we go. The damn dog's
I
acting
feel like
up
I'm getting
today.
gangbanged.
Is that what that was?
Who wants to get gangbanged? What?
What?
The picture.
That picture, Dogman, is.
Is that a self-portrait? Oh
It's like,
my
what? That
god, you
looks
figured it out. Yeah, that's actually me. That's me
Which
and Ashley.
one? Oh, that's you and Asher.
Yeah,
Which one's
Get
you?
the silver. Get the
I do
silver.
actually. Yeah, I'm a silver fox. There you go.
Hey, Michelle Wainwright, watching from Wales. Nice.
Wow,
Sweet.
Nice.
over the pond.
Over the pond and through the woods. For the very things we come.
I knew she was going to
What?
say that. Asher's, I know you way too well. I'm way hotter than that.
Oh,
Yeah. So, does anybody have any? Ryan, you said you have a video coming out.
I do, yes. I have a Goatman video coming out tomorrow.
Goatman video.
Mm-hmm.
nice.
That was pretty messed up, dude. Some of the stories I read on that thing. Yeah, no, I never want to see that thing.
Oh, you ain't got. Okay, you ain't put it up yet. Okay, cool.
No, it'll be tomorrow night at 7:15 my time.
All right, so it'll be 4:15 my time.
I think you're actually 3 hours ahead of me, aren't you?
I am. No. What time is it there now? It's 7:49 here.
All right, it's 5:50, so you're 2 hours. Okay.
2 hours. Okay. What's up, Chris?
Hey, Chris, what's going on, man?
PLE, he had to go so he can get. Hey, that was a one-time thing. Milan's doing okay. She's actually making a few thumbnails for me right now because she's the best girlfriend in the world. Hey, Kennedy, welcome back. Hey, Brenda. But yeah, has anybody in the chat? I know Asher might have, but has anybody in the chat seen a Dogman before? And I will drop the link in the chat. We ain't getting crazy tonight, guys. All right, Sandra. Good night, sis. But yeah, we ain't gonna get crazy tonight like we do on other streams. I mean, I never got crazy ever.
You not
That's a
crazy?
lie.
Yeah, that's a lie, man.
Especially next weekend.
That's a lie.
Yeah. Next weekend when I do my 30-hour stream, that's gonna be fun.
Oh shit, brother.
Oh, what, Ashley? You got a Dogman investigation going on right now, and you didn't invite me? Oh, you're
that's
fired.
awesome.
That's why I need to get down to Arizona.
Yeah, you're fired, Ashers. That's it. We're not friends anymore.
I bet no will let Milan probe his butt with a cattle prod.
Okay. Ow.
Dang it, Chris. Don't tell everybody my secret.
Whoa, Brenda, you saw the goat man?
Oh, you gotta go, man.
She's seen a Bigfoot and a goat man. Hey, Kennedy.
What's up?
I feel like Bigfoot encounters are so common. That's the thing is Bigfoot encounters are so common, but Goatman's not as common as people would think.
How did
Mhm.
you not know I was doing this? Yeah, Ryan, you're supposed to be stalking Asher. That's what you told me. You stalk Asher all the time.
Yeah, dude, I'm always outside her window.
I feel that.
It's reached a point where she brings me my morning coffee right outside. It's pretty nice.
No, but is it American-based cryptic? Goatman? Or are you talking
Goatman?
about Shy, are you talking about Goatman or Dogman?
Actually,
Hey,
you have to say
Yeah,
no
word.
to both.
I totally forgot. I'm glad. Oh yeah, Dave will be
About
up
to
here.
say, there's reports
Let
all
him
over the
know.
freaking place.
Red, you're giving out my secret, bruh. What are you doing?
Right, get up here. He probably seen Goatman, Dogman, Bigfoot.
I got to be on my good behavior. My boss
I
is like,
seen.
Well, to answer that question, though, it is an American-based cryptid, but it's not. I mean, if you go back in history, they saw the Dogman in Europe and in France and other
Yeah.
places. So
it's been good, Ruth.
it is, but it's not. If that makes any sense, Shire.
Yeah, 'cause I know Bigfoot is all over the world, but in different names. Like,
Oh yeah, you got the Yeti, Orang Pendek. You got all the different variants out there.
In Florida, it's called a swamp ape because
Skunk
it
ape.
smells.
Skunk ape.
Horribly.
skunk
Skunk
ape.
ape, swamp. I'm
Skunk
sure
ape,
some people
swamp
call
ape.
it a swamp.
Mhm.
Then down in Louisiana, they have the I forget what the name is, but it's in French and
The
basically
Rougarou.
means werewolf, but in
Rougarou.
French.
Yeah, it's the Rougarou.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And it's a very much steep in legend in the community, I think, in Louisiana.
Actually, the name Rougarou is Creole. In French, it's Loup-garou.
I know down in Louisiana they do speak a bit of French, so maybe it changed and they intertwined the name.
Well, yeah,
Possibly.
it was
Oh,
settled by the French. That's why you got the Cajuns down there. If you ever
And
speak
they
to
like their spicy food.
them, they're French.
What's up, Tyler?
Goatman is a black mist. Whoa. So, Brenda, so you're saying it was a black mist. Where did you see this at?
Where was this?
Brenda's talking about a Goatman encounter. She said it was a black mist, the body is a goat, and the head is a man. That's not really what I've seen in reports, though. It's the opposite. Head of a goat, body of a man, the legs of a goat.
Well, the version she's talking
Head of
about
a man,
is what
body of
people
a goat.
describe.
Somebody needs to get a girlfriend.
I think if you're seeing something like that, that's not the Goatman. That's something far more in the spiritual aspect.
Yeah, isn't that what people describe as the devil? Having the body of a man and the hooves of a goat.
That's also how they describe satyrs and pans and fawns.
Yeah.
How real is the Dogman? Is there any proof that it exists?
Well, depends on what you mean by proof. Do we have physical evidence? Some people do, but they don't come forward with it. But there are pictures and there are audio recordings.
Well,
now we need someone to find poop. That'll have DNA evidence.
People have found it, but it always comes back as unknown.
Well, the poop would at least tell you what its diet is.
No, actually, it doesn't work that way. When you do DNA testing like that, it's going to come back and it's going to tell you just it's canine. And all science can take from that is unknown canine. They can't tell you, oh, it's a German Shepherd, it's this or that. They actually can't tell what species of canine it actually comes from, what breed. So it's really inaccurate to use anything like scat or anything like that.
He has a point. Everything can be faked.
Yeah.
Including Elvis's face.
everything.
Here's the thing, though. When you get into DNA testing, that's when things get convoluted.
Padfoot to a Garmin and Viking.
Yeah, I don't know how familiar you guys are with Melba Ketchum's testings.
Hey, vodka. I've heard of it, actually.
It's kind of convoluted because they say it's part man, part primate, and then part Nephilim. What always gets me is how do we know the genetic makeup of a Nephilim?
Precisely.
That's just that never rang right with me because it's like, okay, so yeah, we do know human, we do know primate DNA, but we have no scientific method of saying it's a Nephilim's DNA. We simply cannot do that.
No. And if it's a Nephilim, you got another complete different set of issues on your hands.
Right, and my big argument against that is did God let us know the DNA strands of a Nephilim? These things that were in the Bible were so bad. I don't get that. I've never understood it and never will.
Yeah. I definitely understand that.
See, that's exactly right, Ashley. Yeah, she claimed it was Nephilim, but it's just unknown DNA. And that's where people got to be careful, because when it's unknown DNA, you don't make a big claim like it's Nephilim or it's this or that, because then you get people worked up and it just doesn't work right.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. That's interesting.
Ashley up here too. Ashley knows her stuff too. She's really smart at this stuff.
Yeah, Ashley, you can come on up if you want.
Ashley.
Come up here with your man Ryan. Better stop. She kicked my butt. It doesn't have a name. That's why it's unknown. It isn't classified.
Okay, she might get it. Yeah, I mean, we do have some kind of proof of Dogman. A friend of mine that I know personally, he has photos of a Dogman, and they're pretty clear. Like, he's not going to show them to anybody.
Yeah, Haunted Experience. You can join. The link is right there. We actually staying on subject this time. Woohoo!
Haunted, I don't think that's what they are, because Dogmen were seen way back before we even had science.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true.
Jane people have tried to capture them, but they always fail. These things are just too smart.
Here's a question: how do we know going to genetic altering if it was some kind of higher power, aliens, screwing our genetic makeup back, say, 5 millennia, and then put them down and let them loose?
They could be. I mean, that's possible. That's one theory, but that's a theory amongst a million, And look at that, though. It's just, I don't know. What's the likelihood?
Hi, everyone. Thanks for letting me in. Good topic. Dogman.
Hey,
even at the moment, it's more about the old Bigfoot, but I like to hear a bit more about the Dogman. Dave said he'd be on a bit later, by the way, because he's been on my stream a while ago. Has some good topics there. Is this just going to be about the Dogman? Because I'd like to hear some kind of information on the old Chupacabra at some time.
I'm actually doing that within the next few weeks. The Chupacabra.
Yeah, you can ask whatever you want, though, Steve. It's up to you. Any questions you got, I'll answer it the best I can.
Exactly.
I don't want to be, because I do talk a lot, so if I do talk a lot, just let me shut the hell up. I
love getting questions, man. This is the best part of being a cryptozoologist is when you can sit and talk with people.
I thought the Dogman was just a myth.
A lot of people used to think that. In a way, though, they were, because, we were raised up on werewolf stories. And I think Dogman is where the werewolves began. I think Europeans saw Dogman, the Greeks saw Dogman, and so forth and so on, and they called them werewolves because they didn't know what they were.
But do werewolves really exist, though?
Well, I mean, if Dogman exists, then you can say, yes, werewolves exist.
Now, here's a question. How do we know if Dogman, as you said, it's a buyer a man with the hair of a wolf dog, right? Or all the way around?
It's essentially a big wolf that can walk bipedally. But it's not just the wolf, though. There are variations. Like the one that I saw, it was more hyena-like in appearance. Then you got the German Shepherd kind, and you have more that look like bears. And they vary from regions.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Now imagine one that looks like that's bipedal, but it's a pug. With a pug face.
I wouldn't be surprised if he's one.
Never-
I really wouldn't. I'm waiting for the day that somebody says it.
You never fucking know anymore.
Yeah, I mean, with the way people are coming up with things, it's impossible to say nobody will see that.
Yeah.
I know I said about the scientific kind of way, where they can mix DNA, but I don't know how to say this without getting kicked off the stream before I get on here, and I don't want it to affect the stream itself, and you have to take it down. But is there a possibility, a woman or a male could have had intercourse with a dog?
No, because genetics don't work like that.
Yeah.
When you get to
Yeah.
genetics like that, you have to look at chromosome pairing. You have to
Right.
look at chromosomes. You got to look at so many factors, and it's just a
Right.
scientific rule. Canines and humans, we never match up.
So I
I mean,
can
can
ask
we
that,
have sex?
I thought,
Yeah, they can have sex. I mean, there are sickos out there who
Obviously.
sleep with dogs, but there's not going to be a fetus or embryo that develops. It just doesn't work that way.
Damn.
To go on that, trying to crossbreed humans and animals in World War II, the Germans tried to make a super soldier from the DNA of a man, and no, it was the sperm of a ape and the fetus of a woman, but it never worked.
Right. With
Humanity.
those experiments, though, Chris, a lot of the women actually ended up getting syphilis, and the embryos just never became viable. Again, it's chromosomes. You have to look at chromosomes. If there's not enough couples, it's not going to match up. Therefore, no life
Exactly.
can be created. Now, if there's too few or too many, same thing. It's not going to be a viable embryo.
Dave's here, by the way. Just let you know.
What's up, Dave?
Yo, what is up, Dave? What's going on, my dude?
Everybody, Darius hit 1K, so congratulations.
Congratulations, bro.
Darius. Boomer.
Nice.
Oh.
So, do you think then it is something to do with science, scientific technology that they've created this, or is it just something that's, created by its own self? Because we're always finding different kind of weird animals, especially in the jungles and stuff like that, aren't we?
That might be possible, but I think really if you want to look at the origin of Dogman in general, you have to go back to prehistoric times.
Mm.
There was a type of prehistoric hyena known as a hyenodon, and we had them right here in Arizona, Nevada, even California, so they might have somehow evolved or adapted, and they just learned how to walk bipedally when they need to.
But how often have people seen the Dogman? How
Pretty often. It's become a very frequent thing. More and more people are coming forward.
is it just based in America, or is it worldwide?
Oh, no. You have tales coming from Scotland, from Ireland, from the UK. They're all over the place. So it's not just America exclusively now.
Mm. So I know there's a movie called Dog Soldier based on the military fighting werewolves, isn't it?
Yeah. Yep.
I've seen it quite a few times. Kind of unusual that they got a movie when there's actual physical possible proof that dog soldiers do exist.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, it's something that we were taught, that was fake. When our parents read horror stories or let us watch horror movies, they always told us, oh, it's fake. They're not real. But yeah, I mean, inspiration came from somewhere.
Mm.
Yeah.
That's just art imitating life. Oh, we lost Chris?
Yeah, his internet. Oh, he went live. Okay.
Leave us.
So yeah, any questions you got? Fire away.
Yeah, we'll be down to answer. Well, they will. I'm just here to host. How you been, Steve? Hadn't seen you around much lately, brother.
Yeah, I'm alright, thanks. I was on Dave's last night. Dave's been on mine tonight. A 4-hour stream talking about the paranormal. He said you was doing a stream. I knew you was doing a stream actually on the Dogman. I said to him, it sounds like a good topic.
Oh yeah.
they said, well, if you go on there, maybe Nuts might, bring you in if you're interested.
Yeah, it's a really interesting topic.
So many topics I do like to talk about. It's just that there's so many out there. There's Super Carp. Well, there's the Mothman, which I like to learn a little bit about.
If you want to learn about the Mothman, you ask Ashers. Ashers knows all about the Mothman.
I'll actually be talking about him in like 2 weeks.
There you go. You better have Ashers up for that one.
Hey, Bly. Yeah, I'm going to have Asher and Shadow of the Moon for that.
Is that from the Asher? If that's the one, I'll got the channel and subscribe to it.
Yeah. Yep. She really knows her stuff, too.
Because I always thought, like, even the Mothman was a myth. But the Mothman always appeared when there's some kind of like, I can't fucking pronounce it, but when something happened in the world, like some kind of disaster.
Some kind of tragedy. Yeah, tragedy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
everything starts out as myth, though. I mean, you got to stop and think. The paranormal was a myth for a long time. It still is a myth to some people. If people don't see it for themselves, it is a myth.
Mm-hmm.
Have you actually seen proof of the Dogman? Have you seen it yourself, or?
Absolutely, I saw one 15 feet away.
Really? How long ago was that?
It was here in Arizona, actually, and it was just we were looking each other eye to eye. We were staring each other down. So yeah, I got to see this like Dogman just rear up on 2 legs, and he was looking right at me. I'm looking right at him. I could see he had human hands. So yeah, I definitely get to see that there is indeed proof of these things.
Did he not? Was he looking at you just like admiring kind of like thing, wondering who you were, or
yeah,
any kind of aggressive movements towards you?
He made a brief charge to me just to see what I would do. I think he wanted to see if I was going to run away or try to pull a weapon. And I think when I didn't, that's when he kind of became curious about me, because I could see his head tilting side to side.
Because I think with a lot of these creatures, they kind of like try to protect themselves, in their territory, don't they? And because
they don't want to have to.
Oh yeah,
that was like
very territorial.
Well, they'll give you warning signs. They'll growl, they'll make howls and barks, and if you don't do anything violent or aggressive, then they'll kind of look at you like, "What are you doing? Why aren't you reacting like normal people?"
Now, does he howl like a wolf or a dog, or?
It was a combination. I'd say if I had to actually compare it to anything, it sounded like a dog scream with a human scream. It was a very deep, guttural kind of growl. Like it came from its chest. You could actually almost see the chest rumbling from the growl it did.
So what kind of intelligence do they, do you think they've got? Can they actually sense that, if you're causing them any danger, or you're just like there, kind of like thinking, what the hell is this? You're showing them a little bit of interest in them.
Well, personally, I mean, it's not going to be a popular opinion, but in my opinion, I think they have the intelligence of your regular animal. A lot of people say they're above human intelligence, but if they were above human, they'd find ways to communicate with us that weren't so animal-like.
Mm-hmm.
I think
when he saw you there, he probably thought that you weren't no danger to him. He was there in the wrong place and thinking, you're just standing there thinking, what the fuck is that kind of thing,
Right, yeah. And I think, when he saw that I wasn't going to try to hurt him, he was just kind of confused by it. I think it might have thrown him off a little bit, because maybe this one had guns pulled on him before. So when I didn't do it, he's kind of going, wait, what? What are you doing? You're just standing there. Why? So it gave me a chance to back off, which I did do, and he backed off as well.
Do they run around like, I say I do talk a lot. If I do, just tell them shut the hell up, kind of thing.
No, man. I love when people talk a lot.
Do you think they roam around in singles or in packs? And if so, how many do you think is in a pack?
I think that depends on the region, the area you're in. In my area, I think they're more solo, whereas maybe Louisiana or other places, they might have packs up to 2 or 3 members. I don't think it's ever a really big group. Because the larger the group, the more they're going to be seen. It's going to be harder to hide when you have more number.
Yeah, so it's not going to be like a pack of wolves or anything when you got like 7.
No, I mean they seem like they're probably more solitary, really. So I don't think they would have huge packs.
So it
Probably
might
just
be like a male and a female, and probably
Yeah.
either one.
a
You know,
mating couple with their offspring. Yeah.
yeah.
Hey, Jen. But yeah. I
Do you
can't.
think, because it's like a dog man? Do you think they might have the intelligence to even try to communicate in like English?
No, because I mean I've never really heard any stories of them using our language. They always growl, bark, howl, snarl. So if they had enough intelligence to use a language, they would.
So really, the part of the head is the dog, which cannot talk. You just hear the growling,
Right.
but the rest of the body is like humanoid, I suppose.
It's similar. It's very similar. I wouldn't say it's exactly like a human's body because their arms tend to hang really low, almost down to their knees.
Hmm.
So there's some similarities, but there's a lot of differences too.
So really, it's like a similarity to like a werewolf thing. They're
Yeah, I mean that's where the werewolf legend probably came from.
Yeah.
do you think they resemble a werewolf?
Oh yeah, most definitely. I mean, like I was saying, I think that's where the
Some
werewolf
do.
legends began. I've talked to people that I've seen. They say the werewolf from Van Helsing, or they saw the werewolf from Dog Soldiers.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'm gonna have to say that they do resemble them greatly.
Now we all know that wolves are more territorial and they can be aggressive, can't they? Really, but
Where's the dog man mainly spotted? Good question.
I would try to give one single place, but they've been spotted all over the states. But if you want to go back to the place that has the most sightings, go to Wisconsin or Michigan. Wisconsin has a lot, very, very, very high number, and of course, Michigan, the Michigan Dogman, Beasterbury Road. So many people were seeing it there.
I hadn't seen one, but I know when I went to 666, we kept hearing like growls. And
Well, here's the funny thing, Dubs. You might not have seen one, but a lot of people cannot ignore the paranormal. When it comes to Dogman, especially, there's a lot of paranormal surrounding this creature, man. So if you were doing something that had to do with supernatural or paranormal, and you heard growling, maybe you did encounter one.
maybe, because there was no dogs around, and it was just really weird. And
Well, see, you got to remember too, just because you didn't see it, it didn't see you.
yeah, somebody could have been a hellhound.
Mm-hmm. Let's see, Geno. Are they in Canada at all? Geno, you know what? I've never really heard of Dogman in Canada. Bigfoot, though, there's plenty of Bigfoot in Canada. But there's not really a lot of reports of Dogman in Canada. Mississippi, yes. Ron, there's so many reports from Mississippi.
what kind of coat do they have? Like, the fur, is it all black or is it
It
multicolored?
varies. It really varies. Like in my case, it was more of the hyena, the spotted golden color. But then you have people that see gray ones. You have people that see reddish brown. You have the people that see dark gray, black. There was even a guy who said that he saw a white one, an albino Dogman.
Yeah, I was going to say like albino, funny enough. Just said like a white dog. But they are very rare albinos, aren't they, really?
Yeah. And well, I mean, that's rare in nature itself. Albinism's very rare, but we do see albino animals, albino crocs, albino snakes. So it does.
What's up, brother?
Hello, mate.
Hey, what's going on, my dude?
Hi, Ryan. How you doing, fella? You do good?
I'm doing good, man. Doing very good.
Nice. How's everybody in chat? You all doing good?
Hello again, you.
Hello again, you.
That's so British, Dave. Hello, you.
Hello, you. How you doing, cheeky? You all right, my mate?
I'm still not eating yet. Still not had nothing to eat yet. I'll have to go and get something to eat in a minute. So, what kind of food do they eat?
I would think they're omnivores. I mean, a lot of people will tell you they're just meat eaters, but I don't think so, because that means they would have to kill constantly to stay alive. I think these things are smart enough to know you have to eat berries, roots, grass, and when you can, get the prey and get the meat.
Yeah.
Because I think every time you go around foraging food, that's going to lower the food stalls down. They've got moving on, I suppose, don't they?
Well, you got people that have reported them digging through their trash cans. Now, not everybody's going to have an abundance of meat in their trash can. You know, they're still going to have junk food or whatever, so they're going to eat whatever they can.
So what you're saying that they've actually been seen in residential areas?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And to answer your question, Jane, people believe that they do hunt humans. I don't think they hunt them. I think they confront us when they see us on their territory. I don't think they look for us purposely. No.
Maybe like I think it was on Dave's channel the other night when we was talking about something. Maybe they eat like roadside animals that have been squashed over by cars, or
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
maybe if someone goes hiking and gets lost and has an accident and die, maybe like the flesh of a dead human being.
I mean, I'm thinking they would. They're opportunistic for sure. So if they see something get hit, they're going to be like, okay, there's dinner right there.
Hey,
Yeah, it makes sense for them to be scavengers as well as like predators, wouldn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Most definitely.
I wouldn't like to see them like attack a human being because their food resources like gone down the toilet because they've like eaten what they have been able to find and scavenge.
Mm-hmm. We as humans have done a lot of damage to the forests around us, so it's kind of our fault they go after us.
Mm.
Yeah, you're right about that.
I mean, we constantly destroy nature. We destroy forests, different places. We hunt constantly. We're taking away their food source.
Yeah, you boil down to it to its base level. What you're looking at is the fact that humans are pretty much the only sort of like species on the face of the planet that can't live in harmony with the rest of the planet. With everything else that lives, they don't have sustainable food sources without messing things up. They don't live in harmony.
Mm-hmm. Right.
How you doing today, asshole?
Yo, what is up, Cole? How you doing, little bro?
I see a couple of assholes to tonight.
We're just doing good. Everything's been good.
Let's talk about Mr. Dogman is tonight, alright?
Okay, here's something that I think I have to address right here. Jeno, when you say Wendigo, what kind of Wendigo do you mean? Are you talking about the Bigfoot-like Wendigo, or are you talking the more human Wendigo?
How are we doing, Dakota?
Been all right about yourself, man.
Yeah, doing good, thank you, sir. Yeah.
So Ryan, how big was this
Good.
Dogman? How large was he? How tall was he when you saw it?
Actually, that's an interesting story that I can tell my full encounter in just a few minutes. I just want to get the answer from Jeno. The one from Native Lore.
So
Jeno. Wait a minute, Colin. Jeno, do you mean the big white Wendigo, or are you talking the Wendigo with the horns, or? See, I just did a thing on the Wendigo too, so I'm interested in Wendigo as well. Dave, do you have any opinions on Dogman or Wendigo?
As far as Dogman's concerned, I was wondering what your take was on how true do you think it is to like the legends of the Epic of Gilgamesh and that, the one that was described back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's in Greek mythology, the legend of Lycon, is it?
The Lycos?
yes,
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I think that's more the supernatural aspect of that side of the cryptid, but I don't think it has much to do with Dogman. Now, a lot of people tell you, whoa, what was that?
The hell was that?
It was me.
Who?
I'm back.
What?
Okay, I forgot what I was saying. Dave, I think with Dogman, I don't think that's the origin of Dogman. Some people will tell you that is where the Dogman began, but then you have to go way, way back to ancient Egypt.
Yeah.
Ancient Egypt they had Anubis, and they had Anubis's brother. What was Anubis's brother's name?
Oh, I'm trying to think of the name of him. I know what you mean, yeah.
I didn't know
Okay.
this is bad about it.
Yeah, they had those two. So the ancient Egyptians, they were seeing something. So I got to wonder if maybe Dogman started way back in ancient Egyptian.
Is it Wepawet or something?
Something like that. I don't know.
Wepawet. Because it was because he's also known as Innis, isn't it? Innis and Wepawet.
You know what? I'm going to look that up now. I'm curious.
Sorry, just something like that.
Oh, you were close, Dave. Actually, yeah, that was it. Huh. Dave, you know more than I do sometimes, man.
No, just history, innit? I don't know a great deal about. Well, I know bits about cryptozoology, but it's history and religion, isn't it?
I've just done a quick Google. It's a Wepawet or something. It's described as a wolf or a jackal, or as a man with the head of a wolf or a jackal.
Yeah, there you go. That's what I said, Wepawet, yeah.
Mm-hmm. He's actually described with gray fur, which is really interesting.
Wepawet is Anubis. Is that what you're referring to, Ryan?
Yeah, it's Anubis's brother. That's actually his brother in the mythology.
Yeah, but I mean, are you saying that they're described as having grey fur?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There's plenty of people that have gray ones, black ones, brown ones. So,
wasn't the class as God though? Wasn't he classed as a god?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're classed as gods, yeah.
So it does make you wonder if maybe the ancient Egyptians knew something that we don't. Possibly, maybe.
Yeah, well, I mean, they worshipped cats as gods, didn't they?
Mm-hmm.
So they worshipped. They held animals in great esteem. So to turn if you like, the equivalent of a dogman into being like a godlike figure is not much of a jump. I mean, you've just got to look at the Sphinx as well, haven't you? The way that they anthropomorphize like animals. As much as they can into almost like a semi-human sort of like animalistic deity,
Mm-hmm. Well, think about it. I mean, if we lived way back then in those ancient times and we saw a dogman or whatever, we might be like, "Oh my god, that is a god."
Yeah, definitely something like that.
Knowing trying to fit the freaking thing, but everybody else would worship as a god.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
I don't know. Something else today. I thought it was just that's as awesome as I found.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Colin knows his Dogman stuff too.
So would you say that there's sort of like bit you say that there's bit? No, you're all right, Callum. You say that the Dogman being around, even if it's like sort of predecessors were around in early Europe, that gave rise to the legend of lycanthropy. Rather than the other way around, you know what I mean? Like people have seen these beings, and because they've been bipedal and stood up on two legs, that they're a man, they're a dog man, so therefore they've changed because they've been possessed or so on and so forth. Exactly. And the supernatural side of it's took over, when in actual fact it was all fed by an actual cryptid or a living thing rather than a mystery.
I mean, that's the first. I don't know, that's something like that. I don't know. I think things. That's just me. I just it's just absolutely different. I think that's different.
Well, because they've got a lot of history in Europe, haven't they? I mean, the Vikings had the saga of the Volsungs, which told of like the same kind of thing, like people wearing wolf pelts, which gave rise to like a wolfman stroke dogman kind of thing, even back then, and that's come across into the UK when you've had the Viking invasion of Britain or the raids on the east coast of the UK. And so you sort of see like a pattern across the world, even if people don't sort of like immediately associate Dogman or things like that with being in the UK or Europe. There's evidence that go back hundreds, even thousands of years of that actually being the case.
Yeah, I mean, you go over to Scotland, they have what's called the Wolvers.
Yeah.
The Wolvers is interesting though, because if you look at Dogman in the States, right, everybody says they're vicious, they're deadly. You go over to Scotland, the Wolvers are known to help travelers. They'll feed travelers, not eat the travelers, but feed them. So you got to wonder what's with the difference in their behaviors.
Do you think that's not down to the actual behavior of the being of the creature, the cryptid, whatever you want to call it, or rather a nurture within society, within that civilization, and their sort of understanding of what they were dealing with?
Yes, I think that's exactly it. I think because here in the States, I'll say it, we're kind of assholes here in the States. As Ashley can actually testify, you talk about cryptids, the first thing it talks about is what caliber gun to use on it. You talk to somebody in Scotland, though, and they'll tell you, oh, well, there's no reason to kill them. There's no reason to be afraid of them. But then again, you talk to somebody else from, like, Mexico or California, and they'll tell you, oh, get a really big gun and make sure you hit it in the face.
Yeah.
So I think, here in the States, we've just been total pricks to them, so they don't like us. Whereas in Scotland and the UK, they're better to them, so they know not to fear humans as much.
Oh, this is a different species? Different species? That's what I was thinking, because you said in Scotland, that's not your help.
Yeah, Sinister. That's why I'm doing this, to get people more.
Pendleton, I don't think that's really a Dogman. That's more a chimera that you saw.
Yeah, it sounds like it with his serpent-like tail, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's more a chimera. That's not a Dogman or anything like that.
Thank you, Country Forest.
So you're thinking that if with like legends that these will help travelers, that intrinsically then they're picking up on an element of distress, and there isn't a communication level, because from what you're saying, they're an actual beast. There isn't a supernatural element to them like there is in lycanthropy, and they're just picking up on as a natural animal instinct that somebody needs help, or they're in distress.
Yeah, if you look at dogs, dogs are so good at reading your vibes. They know what you're feeling. Even when you're sad, you're trying to hide it, or you are feeling distraught, a dog will know it. A dog will know it from far away.
And it's just a different species of dog. It still has the same sense if something's wrong with a person or something.
I think it could be a canine instinct where they know the humans aren't going to hurt them, so they don't hurt the humans.
Yeah.
Right, and as you were saying before, sorry, Callan, as you were saying before, whereas in the USA, there's this sort of like almost inbuilt sociological predisposition towards wanting to hunt them or to shoot them on sight.
Yeah, because you talk to people here in the States, Dave, and everybody wants to kill every kind of cryptid there is. There's none of that getting to know it, getting to study it. They're all talking about blow it away, kill it, kill it, kill it. As a cryptozoologist, that's pretty insulting. Like I keep trying to tell them, telling me to kill all the dogmen is like trying to tell Jane Goodall to kill all the apes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just no.
Ooh, that's a good question.
I don't know anything. This is just on site.
How many attacks have been reported on humans?
Not really many fatal attacks, but if you want to talk about a really good attack from a dogman, talk about the LBL, Land Between the Lakes.
Yes.
That's probably the most infamous one. That's probably the most well-noted, the most well-documented one. And really, as far as dogmen go, we really have no proof other than LBL that they hunt humans.
Yeah.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Can I ask, Nubs, have you ever seen the Dogman, Nubs?
No, I sadly I haven't seen any cryptic, but I'm personally, because I am now part of the cryptic team on Airchill, because I want to grow as an investigator, and I'm trying to learn more about this stuff. So that's why I'm doing it once a week, to get more information and talk about one specific cryptic a day or a week.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you should meet up with Ryan, and Ryan can take you where we saw his Dogman. And
oh yeah, I would absolutely do that for you, Nubs. If you ever want to come to Arizona and do something like that, do an investigation, I can take you around, man. I got Moogie on Rim not too far from me, so we can maybe see a Bigfoot. You never know.
Most definitely.
Hey, they still have faith in me.
Of course, bro. We just gotta wait for this, this little virus thing to be over with.
Yeah.
So I'd say like the chances of what's driving the like you say, I want to go back to the sort of like mentality of wanting to shoot things. Now, do you think that's down to gathering evidence? By shooting it, you've then captured it and you can prove its existence. Is it a fame thing? I'm the one who captured, say, I don't know, I shot Bigfoot or I shot Dogman or something like that. A mixture of all that.
It's just the principle of killing. It's not anything they have in mind to prove it or just collect evidence. It's just because they want to kill. It's a very bloodthirsty notion that we have to put up with constantly.
I actually think a lot of these mystical creatures out. I just think a lot of these creatures out there, like Bigfoot, Sasquatch, Dogman. I just think they want to be left alone because they've probably been disturbed too much. Like you said, we're always cutting down trees and forests, aren't we?
Right.
We're taking their,
if they've been around as people say, if they've been around since our early history, then they've been around us long enough to know humans can be bad. We can be very vile. We premeditate every bad thing we do. And I'm sure they've learned that, and that's why they stay away from us. It would make sense.
Yeah.
That's it.
But if we keep cutting down the trees and forests, and they ain't going to have nowhere to go, are they? Unless like they find caves and go hiding caves. But
Speaking of that, me and my aunt walked in the woods today, and we had a huge ice storm a couple weeks ago, and it knocked out about 20% of the trees in the woods just from the ice.
Oh.
Yeah, it was.
So Ryan, would you say like when like a few hundred years ago in Germany that the Bedburg werewolf was? Do you think that was likely a Dogman, or just like an hysterical thing, like based again on somebody seeing what purported to be a werewolf? Because somebody actually got chased down and accused of that because they said that they saw him shapeshift into this werewolf being. I don't know if you know 1500s in Bedburg in Germany, or were they? Oh, we have just seen Shires. Yeah, I know, brother. I know.
That's 50-50. I think that they did see a Dogman in the area, but for the most part, I think that was paranoia because that's right around the time where a lot of people were accused of being werewolves and witches.
Yeah.
So if anybody acted strangely or even claimed to be a werewolf, you're taking your life into your own hands. I mean, they were even so paranoid that if you had a unibrow, they thought you were a werewolf.
Yeah.
They're pretty much the same now in the UK. If you got a unibrow or monobrow, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh God, I would be considered oh shit. I got a unibrow. I didn't shave it now.
If you had thick beards or whatever, they would think that you were a kind of werewolf.
No. So no, it's
It's really interesting, but I think that was a lot of paranoia. But I do believe, Dave, that they did see a Dogman at some point in time.
Yeah.
Because you gotta think, if they got the description, if they said what it looked like, then obviously they saw something to inspire their imagination.
So do you think how many sightings over the years do you think have been down to like people not recognizing medical condition hypertrichosis? People have seen like people with excessive hair growth, and do you think that's likely?
No, I don't, because when people report seeing a Dogman, they specifically report the long snout, the pointed ears, the hawk legs. So would somebody like that have such features? No. So I don't think that it's any misidentification like that.
I've been into the paranormal for about nearly 9 years yet, and I know there's a lot that we don't understand. But I'd probably be, I'm not trying to be rude, but skeptical about the Dogman unless I could see proof, just like the Sasquatch and the Abominable Snowman. I want to see it up front, face to face, before I believe it. But then I can turn around and say, well, I've not seen a ghost, face to face, but I believe in ghosts more than mythical creatures.
I'll tell you what, though, something to keep in mind when it comes to cryptids or even paranormal, the absence of evidence doesn't mean it doesn't exist.
Yes, as I say, the absence of evidence isn't evidence of absence.
Exactly. Just because we haven't seen it doesn't mean it's not there. Like I said, I'll ask a lot of people, have you ever seen a baby pigeon? And they'll say no, so I'll tell them I have a hunch they exist.
No, as I say, don't get me wrong. I am skeptical on certain things. I believe, like, the Sasquatch does exist. Like, I know this ain't to do with the Sasquatch and,
Right.
Yeti and all that kind of stuff, but we were talking about it the other day, and I think that is like something that kind of like kind of moved away from man and didn't really evolve properly. And now you've got like 4 branches. Bigfoot that's come out. You've got the Sasquatch, the Yeti, the abominable snowman. 4 types. They've kind of like they probably kind of like done what they've done when they moved away from man. They've kind of like separated and created their own particular group. Now, going to the Dogman, how do you know there's only one version of Dogman? There could be several types of Dogman, just that we've not seen it yet.
Oh yeah, I know that. I found
That's the thing. There isn't. I mean, there's supposed to be several kinds. Just like is there not 4 classifications of Bigfoot in the US, Ryan?
Oh, there's more than 4 for Bigfoot.
This is like 7.
Yeah, there's at least 7 of them.
Yeah.
As 6 or 7
now. Yahweh's around about type 4, is it, or something?
Yep. You have the Yowie, you have the Gugly, you have the Relic Hominid, you have the Patties.
And Patty's a type 1,
yeah? Patties, yeah.
I thought, like, there was only 4, being the Yeti and the abominable snowman. I think they're like, it's a bit like brothers and sisters, kind of thing. Just a, slightly different to each other.
That's what I said.
So, yeah,
I didn't know that there was a lot more.
Definitely more than one.
I didn't know there was different types of, like, apart from that I know, I didn't know there's more than one different type of, like, Yeti or Sasquatch.
Well, I mean, it's subspecies. You look at cats.
I said,
Uh-oh, Asher's is about to join us. Uh-oh. Brace yourself.
Hello. Everybody.
Brace yourself, fellas. The lady's about to take over.
Asshole's running away.
Hi.
Chris seen any ghost that
Oh, it's a good thing somebody said pizza delivery. I got to check on mine. Thank you for the reminder, even though you didn't know I ordered one. Thank you.
The elbow in the ribs there, Ryan. The elbow in the ribs.
That was.
I just had
45 minutes late. Okay.
I just had some problems in a bag. That's the one thing.
What up, Dom?
But yeah, I mean, there are definitely, sightings of more than one type of dog, man. It's pretty interesting when you get down there.
Oh, yeah.
But how many have you seen? Have you just seen one, or has there been reports for more than different?
Personally, I've seen one. I've only seen one myself, but I talk to so many eyewitnesses per day, and it's really funny because not really that many see the same one. They all see different types, so you really have to take into consideration there may be a subspecies of the subspecies of the subspecies going on here.
Yeah.
But the thing is, like, it's like, I'm not being like rude or anything, but some people might kind of like imagine it could be like a wild dog running around, and like, they could interpret a just normal wild dog as a dog kind of thing. But
in a way, you could be right, but wild dogs don't get up on their hind legs and chase you.
Yes, exactly. I feel like you don't be able to
But he's still talking, Steve.
Sorry, go on.
So, I was just saying, I think we didn't want to be able to discern a wild dog from a dog named. I don't know, I don't think we'd be able to tell the difference.
Right. I mean, like, in my case, when I saw my Dogman, he was on all fours at first,
Yeah.
But when he got closer to me, he actually stood up on 2 legs. And believe me, that was one hell of a sight to see it rear up on 2 legs and just stand there staring at me.
Yeah, but even dogs do that. When they,
Not
when you approach them,
Well,
they
that's just it.
don't they?
Not for
Well,
this.
so right.
When dogs stand up on their hind legs, though, they can't move.
Yes.
They can't move very
They
far.
can't
They're
move
gonna-
it. Uh-huh.
So the one you saw was actually moving on its hind legs, yeah?
Yeah, he was walking towards me.
All right.
He was taking steps towards me. He did a bluff charge on 2 legs.
No, so I'm not trying to be rude or anything.
No, not at all. You're not being rude at all.
I'm a bit skeptical about certain things, and although it's to do with the paranormal, all kind of things, mythical is to do with the paranormal. But even if you're on this particular topic, like I do ghost hunting, although I still do believe and don't believe in certain things in that aspect, I may not believe in stories rather, regarding Sasquatch, the Dogman, Mothman.
Oh shit.
You see, conversely, I think there's, if you look at the way the natural world works, it's more likely, scientifically, that something like that would exist than spirits or ghosts. But people tend to want to believe in spirits or ghosts more readily than they will in the Dogman or Bigfoot or any other cryptid,
That's exactly right.
Yeah,
That's interesting.
yeah, I mean, with me, I don't really believe in paranormal or those shit. So I just believe in physics because it just makes no sense to me. I respect this. They're talking about animals, like ghosts and shit like that. They're talking about like supernatural shit and all that. I don't really believe that. I just don't like this.
Supernatural isn't all encompassing or all reaching. It seems to be an umbrella term for near enough every experience people have, doesn't it?
I just
Hello, Ash.
Hello, Asher. I've subscribed to your channel, by the way.
Sweet. Oh, we got Ashley here now, too. All right.
I know. I finally showed up.
I know. What took you so long? God.
I was
You gotta
busy.
keep me waiting, man. I swear to you, on purpose.
I was dying again. I had to correct myself from dying. It's wonderful when your pancreas doesn't work.
Complain.
I know, right? It's not valid at all. I missed I had to I cut off the actual show, so I don't know what you guys were talking about. But whatever, I'm here now. Hi.
Don't worry about it. Neither do we. We're sort of winging it, so it's all good.
No.
Yeah,
All right. Well,
Not
that's
either.
okay. Cool. Sounds good.
We're fumbling around in the dark.
You're doing what right now?
Fumbling around in the dark.
Oh, do you guys need some direction? I thought we were supposed to be talking about Dogman. Is that what we're talking about?
We are.
Oh, okay. Well.
So, right, how far again did you say you were face to face to this Dogman?
15 feet away. That's pretty close.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't take a picture because I wasn't expecting to see it. So
That's the other things, like when you see something weird, you try to fumble for your phone, and the time you got your phone to take a picture, it's usually gone anyway.
yeah, but would I really want to have moved for my phone though? Any quick movements, it could have gone really bad.
Yeah, he could have ran at you and tore you apart, thinking that you're being threatening towards him.
Mm-hmm.
So you got away, with your life really. If it's those dogmen are supposed to be so probably very vicious.
Yeah, without wanting to lapse into any of the vernacular, Ryan, could you tell it was a male? Did you see any tackle or out like that?
I didn't really look in that area, Dave.
Did you notice a supernatural wang?
Oh yeah, here we go with Dave again. Oh God.
I got penis envy from it. I was just like, oh my God. You're so
there you go. Did you just sort of like you just sort of got a vibe that it was a male, or you just sort of like generically referring to it as a he?
Yeah, it just seemed more male with the whole territoriality that it had.
All right. Okay, cool. Yeah, so by its mannerisms, it suggested it might have been a male.
Yeah, definitely.
It didn't have any boobs you could see when it stood up, did it?
No, absolutely not.
Then it must have been a male. You
Oh,
don't
yeah,
have to
if it had boobs, I'd be like, how you doing?
male or not.
Ashley knows me too well. If it had boobs, I'd be like, how you doing?
Ryan would have tried approaching it if it had boobs.
I still would have too. Yeah.
I believe it.
Hello, honey. What are you doing tonight? You're not my type, but we can always have a little bingo.
For sure.
I say,
And get some beers. What kind of beer do you like?
it has oh, this is right. Hey, what's up?
Let's sit down with a few beers, shall we? Tell me your problems, honey. Or mate, you know, let's get a bit of relationship going on. Oh, by the way, I'll quickly take a photo.
Selfie.
Any of you was able to get a photo of it, how many people would be skeptical about it and probably
Everybody.
it's fake?
Yeah, everyone.
Yeah.
Nobody would believe it. I was talking about that earlier with somebody. We just will never be able to prove any of these things with photographic evidence at this point. We're too advanced in, Photoshop and graphic design and CGI to have that be a possibility anymore.
I mean,
I think the best.
though.
I think with some of the cameras nowadays, you can manipulate things. You've got the app where you can put ghosting behind it, but I don't think you could do that with a Polaroid camera, can you? So if you
how many people are walking around with a Polaroid camera in 2021, Steve?
No, I know, but if you want to go out and try to capture something, some people might think, well, cameras nowadays can be manipulated. The photos, digital photos can be manipulated. So why not get a Polaroid camera?
But photos have been able to be manipulated since the Victorian era. People were able to manipulate daguerreotypes, lithographs. It's been going on since the 1800s. The old Victorian backstreet clairvoyants were known for doing that, when the so-called pictures of ectoplasm and stuff like that, double plating. It's been going on for years. They've always been at it.
Yeah, true, but I would feel like a little bit more harder to kind of like fake and manipulate.
I don't know necessarily. You can still manipulate images like whether it's on iPhone 7 or a phone 7. You can still save and manipulate the image. If you know it is image.
I mean, I definitely see what Steve's saying. Wasn't the Mayaka skunk ape, wasn't that Polaroid pictures?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
And so, those are pretty impressive pictures. Yeah. I don't know if
I think those pictures are the best pictures I've ever detected ever.
Yeah.
I think the first...
He hasn't finished yet, Steve.
No, that's okay.
My audio keeps going in and out. I'm having problems with the audio again. I was going to say, it wasn't the first capture of the Bigfoot taken on Polaroid.
No, it was taken on. I'm not sure what that was, but that was the Patterson Gimlin was on a.
Patterson Gimlin.
It was on an old video, or an old camera of some sort, but I couldn't tell you exactly which one. But people still don't believe that footage is real.
Yeah, exactly.
Bizarre to me.
I don't know the Patterson Gimlin film, so we say pictures is just on a picture video now, so这种很容易的，一些是小孩跟上面贴着，你这小孩是这些人，这种我怎么是容易的。
Yeah, so the Polaroid comment, like they're everywhere. No, they're not. I mean, you all this stuff that's coming forward now, the things that people are putting forward as evidence aren't taken on Polaroid cameras. I'm not wearing that. I'm not. I don't believe that. No.
Well, because I think what you could do with the Polaroid is that you can, you can take a photo of a photo, and you can overlay something on top of the photo to make it look like it's part of that photo, and take a picture. I don't know if this makes any sense, but you can take a picture of that with a Polaroid and say, "Oh, look, I took it with a Polaroid. It's obviously legit." So I mean, there are ways to manipulate it.
Oh yeah.
You know, it wouldn't be. It's just, but I definitely see what you're saying, Steve. Is that it would be harder to fake. It'd take a lot more effort to do that. But either way, I don't think anybody's going to take anything except for a flesh and blood, you know, body of evidence at this point. To
literally the fact that
Yeah, well, my point being is that people instantly have a camera at their disposal when they're carrying their phone around, and that's the type of evidence that's coming out is taken on by digital photography. That's the prevalent medium. It isn't 35mm. It's not 110mm cassette. It's not silver halide or color emulsions or Polaroids. It's digital. It's either a digital camera, CCTV, trail camera, or it's a camera on the phone. It's digital. We're in a digital age, aren't we?
I've always taken out a digital camera, although I've got my phone with me. No, I could take pictures on the phone, but I'll still take a digital camera out with me because I feel like you get better quality image on a digital camera than you do with a mobile phone sometimes.
Some people, you know, as artists do prefer. I mean, there's people that still shoot movies on, you know, 35mm, and so it's not unheard of for people to have and use these things. But it's not very common. And when you see a sighting anyway, I mean, most likely it's not going to be you're with the documentary crew out in the middle of the woods with your 35mm and your physical film. It's just on a whim.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ryan, I've got an idea which you might have thought about or might not have thought about, but have you ever considered about going back where you saw the Dogman and leaving a one of those wildlife cameras stuck there?
You know, actually, we're not allowed to do that in Arizona anymore. So game cameras or whatever, anything like that, we're not allowed to do it. It's illegal in Arizona.
Is it?
Yeah, but I have gone back. I have gone back plenty of times. That's my research area.
Was it illegal to have a wildlife cam stuck up on a tree?
It's something about poaching. We had poachers here that were getting a lot of deer. So they ruined it for us cryptozoologists, those bastards.
So there's a lot of deer there. There's a lot of
goddamn cryptozoologists ruining everything, the bastards.
That's all right. I can still leave my cameras outside of Ashley's house, so we're all good.
Yeah, there you go. And she knows it only too well as well, Ryan. You know.
Yeah, I know. I'm waving at one right now. Hi, Ryan.
It's pointless doing that. Ash, she's stood in your back garden looking through your window.
That's okay.
Have you ever heard any stories of mutilated animals?
I did an investigation last year where a rancher was losing all kinds of sheep. There was
can't they get one of them and do DNA tests and find out what kind of teeth marks are on there?
It was canine. That's all we know is it was canine.
So you see, the thing is, you've got to remember, Steve, that also, if it's been left for any length of time, you're dealing with contamination.
Exactly. Yeah, true.
When you've got decomposition, you've got other things that are preying on it. Corvids and stuff like that. You're dealing with decomposition.
But surely you can still get DNA off it, though.
You guys were talking about the Erickson project earlier with Melba Ketchum and her DNA sequencing. So you can do genetic sequencing on any piece of DNA that you have. Actually, canine sequencing is really popular in the veterinary world nowadays because they do it before they put dogs under for surgery to make sure that they don't have a specific gene so that they won't react bad to the anesthesia. So you could do that now. I mean, you could take, Dogman DNA samples, but the problem is that there's no funding available for these types of research projects. Nobody's paying the money to want to do these things.
Yep.
The Erickson project, I think, ended up costing like $500,000 to do. It's very pricey.
The thing is you get what's called like noisy results, though, don't you, on DNA sequencing if there's contaminants, so they have to rule it out because of that.
Well, yes, that's right. So you would have to have multiple pieces, of DNA samples and hope that they're not contaminated. You're definitely taking a chance. So it takes a couple of years for one of those projects to even, come to fruition and, yield any type of results, because you can't just take one sample of DNA and go, oh my gosh, this is the one, this is it. That would be unethical. That's not how science works. So it's possible. We just have to, we would have to find a private donor that would be happy to fund something like that.
Yeah, like you say, it's down to the funding, isn't it? Yeah.
Basically,
Wait, go back to that note. Go back to Fam's comment real quick.
All right. Oh, Fam.
Oh.
Misidentified as brown bear. That way. When you do DNA
that's
testing,
not possible. You can't misidentify. You can't misidentify a primate DNA for a bear.
it doesn't work.
I mean, I could see maybe sightings being misidentified as a brown bear here and there, but DNA, you can't really fake DNA. It's not one of those things that you just kind of guess on.
Yeah, it's not going to come from a brown bear when it's a Sasquatch DNA. If it was Sasquatch DNA, it would be an unknown primate.
You would have primates.
Because when they've done DNA, they found like secondary structures within the DNA profiling.
Right.
Because I don't understand how they could have a misidentification as it being a brown bear.
No, you wouldn't.
Brown bear, you recognize it. Okay, this is another thing that we get into a lot as a cryptozoologist when they say it's purposely falsified. That is not. That is not. You have plenty of scientists out there that are looking for the actual genetic structure. You don't falsify anything.
Yeah, that would be. I mean, that's silly. That's a silly comment.
You mean the DNA is being purposely falsified?
Yeah, that's a very silly comment.
No.
Gigantopithecus? No, I disagree 100%. They are not related to Gigantopithecus at all.
I was saying like, yeah, I was saying
I don't know if this will interest you. I'll put it in the private chat. I'll put it in the private chat because I can't post links on the side chat. But there's an interesting article. Mystery Dogman beast shot in Montana was just a good DNA shows.
Oh yeah.
Do you want me to drop it?
I don't know if you know about that.
Yeah, you can drop it, Dave.
You can see it's a large kind of wolf with, canine teeth. But they say it was a natural wolf and not.
Okay, done it, brother.
Because they say something about DNA as well. So how far is Montana from where you live, Ryan?
What's that?
How far is Montana away from you?
Yeah, it's not too far. Oh yeah, I remember this. I've seen this before. Have you seen this, Ashley?
I haven't seen this specifically, but I have seen this. This is kind of a popular thing that happens. Actually, most of the time when people have these mysterious canine bodies, they refer to them as chupacabra.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just, you know what? They're not. I mean, this is just. I'm reading it. I'm sorry.
Misidentification or lazy investigation when they do that, do you think?
Yeah, probably a little bit of both.
Yeah, it could be a little bit of both in that case.
Yeah, I don't know what's about this when I first came out.
Yeah.
You know what say? They say it's a virus. I don't know what to mean.
So take it, Ryan and Ashley, you know about this case?
Yeah.
I can't say I know a lot about this, but yeah, I mean, like I said, this is kind of a popular thing that happens. I'd say at least twice a year in
Yeah.
in the cryptid world.
So not uncommon
it
to you
says
then, obviously.
Not at all. I mean,
It says
people
on
see
that-
these animals, and like one thing that happens is like, especially when they're mangy, when they have mange, they end up looking very strange, and people get very concerned about what they are. So then, typically, yes, they'll catch it and they'll DNA test it, and usually it just ends up being, some type of known species.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
usually
same if they get cankerous and stuff like that.
So on that article, it was like posted 2018, and they said it's like they tested the DNA. So how long does it take to test the DNA on any kind of like wild creature?
not long at all. Not long at all. We have such an extensive catalog of DNA that it doesn't take long.
No, not at all.
And
About
sadly,
24 hours.
what happens in most cases is when it's something already known, the facts get buried because nobody.
Yeah, they can mess about though, can't they? Because sometimes the laboratory will run them through like alternative protocols and different reagents for sequencing and stuff.
Right.
So it depends how much they want to mess about with it, but it shouldn't take too long, should it? Really?
No, it doesn't usually take that long. But like I said, though, when it comes back as something known, it gets buried because people don't want to know it's a known animal.
Hmm.
So people kind of lose interest and say, "Oh, to hell with it," and they bury it.
Yeah.
Now, do they? I know you said like they kind of have a partial human body. Do they have like feet like men, or do they have like feet like a wolf?
Oh, more canine. It's definitely canine feet. They're bipedal when they want to be, when they need to be.
Right. Interesting topic this, though. I must admit, I'm glad I come on.
Yeah, there's a lot of supernatural to add on to it too. Once you get into that rabbit hole, there's so much paranormal, supernatural surrounding the Dogman.
Yeah.
Let me on, Nubs. Do appreciate that, mate.
Oh yeah, anytime, Steve.
Anytime. Well, you're always welcome on my channel. I've not seen you come over, but if you want to pop over when me and Dave's talking, feel free to, any of you.
For sure. I'm pretty sure I'm subscribed to you. I have to go double check.
We're just talking about normal paranormal stuff today. You want me, Dave?
I suppose. I don't really. Yeah. Okay. You see, it's like almost like a contradiction in terms, that sentence. Normal, paranormal. Yeah, we were just chatting earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do find it interesting myself, especially like all the testing methods and that, or the lack of testing methods, not just in the spiritual side of the paranormal, if you like, but cryptozoology, ufology, all of it. The sort of control mechanisms that people put into study groups for finding alleged answers. It just seems that with like a kid, it's like when there's a balloon on the floor and it tries to grab it and it ends up kicking it away and it runs after it and bends down and does it again and constantly chases a balloon around the floor and can't pick it up. It sort of seems like we're all doing that, even though maybe in different fields.
More or less, yeah.
Well, I would agree with that. And the reason for that is because if you had a tool to pick up that balloon, you wouldn't have to kick it away from yourself. You could use your tool. And I think that we just don't have the tools. I don't think we have the science yet to really get there. And, so I think that that's an issue. I do all of it. So I don't, I don't have one field.
I usually just pop the damn balloon, dude. I step on it and there it goes. And
I think it's marrying the two together, isn't it? It's being able to say, right, we know that this particular specific piece of equipment here definitely picks up on A, B, C, or D. But then by very definition, you sort of like, when you've got them protocols in place, you can see it becomes a moot point, because if you know that it proves the existence of these to measure them in the first place, you're almost proving the existence of them in the first place, kind of thing, So then you're cataloging rather than proving.
Yeah, pretty much. The skepticism has really kind of, I don't want to say it's killed the field, but I mean it's so rampant nowadays. It's really hard to prove much of anything, because even if you have
a degree, so don't be insulting skeptics.
I don't have an issue with skeptics in general. It's when you put the evidence right in front of someone's face and they just absolutely refuse and refuse and refuse. They always, but I want more, but I need more, and it's unhealthy, and so that makes the job a little more difficult. But in this day and age where you can fake just about anything, I mean, I guess, can you really blame them for needing some more hardcore evidence?
No,
Well,
not really.
sort of like grates my tits more is when you're speaking to a skeptic and they think that they're the only ones that are graced with the ability to debunk anything. They won't give you the luxury of, they won't afford you the luxury of having that kind of mindset too with any evidence you want to get together or present. They just think that they're the only ones that can debunk it. They're the only ones and everything they come up with is just, more often than not, it's lazy. It's just the very prosaic, the most prosaic and obvious answers you yourself as an investigator would completely discount straight away before even thinking of putting it in front of any of your peers, let alone publicly.
Right. Well, and I think, and I'll tell you right now, as an investigator, skepticism is how I decide to investigate. So, I mean, I go by the process of elimination, and I try to think about it from, the most logical viewpoint first before I go on to say, okay, it's this or it's that, or, whatever. And so, there's a healthy dose, but then, like you said, then you have people that are just simply lazy and they just refuse any other possibility. And so it's, you just can't help those people, I suppose.
I've just been thinking about something here. I know it's probably like once in a million you're going to see another Dogman, for instance. Yeah,
I hope it's not over number, but
see it once and that's it. Wouldn't it be nice that people who are actually out investigating it would think about taking in a audio recorder and trying to capture the sound of the Dogman making its howling or something, and then going back and playing that recording back to them and seeing they would react to them?
Oh, they would definitely respond to that. But I mean, I've tried that too, and these things are pretty smart. They seem to know when you got technology on you.
Oh, fair enough.
So I think when they know that you have that technology that can capture their existence, they just go quiet and stay out of sight.
I think that's similar to when people have said that they've put things out for Bigfoot, that they inherently know that they're there, like trail cams, and they rip them away or smash the cameras and so on and so forth.
There's a reason for that, though. People believe that they can see the infrared on the cameras, they can smell the cameras.
Well, I believe that because if ever I've been out shooting, I know that foxes can I don't think they actually pick up so much on the light as in feel the heat from it. They feel the thermobaric energy from it, and when it hits their eyes, because I've seen them look directly at it, gone.
Bears are the same way. Bears will actually trash the cameras because they smell the petroleum in them.
I didn't know that.
I remember watching a movie called Dogman on Amazon, and the guy who there's rumors that there was a Dogman out there. A couple of kids tried to play a prank, and one of them actually come across the original Dogman and got attacked. So what they done was they put a trail cam on a tree, and in the movie it showed that the Dogman somehow sensed it was there and ripped off the tree and destroyed it. So maybe they do have some kind of like intelligence and sense that there is something there trying to watch them or capture them on video, and they can just like sense it and rip it apart. And
maybe that's where I get it from. They don't want people to see them, and I'm like, nah, no, nobody's gonna see me either. So get it from the Dogman.
Yeah,
I like that. Yeah. It's been noticed you like to lurk, Ryan. Anyway.
Lurking in them trees.
Did you like me breaking news? That thing that I done for you.
I did. That was very impressive. Dude. That was flattering.
All for you, that brother.
Yeah, my ego went up a few points that time. Thanks for that. Unlike Ashley, who's always destroying my ego.
I am nice to you, Ryan. God, don't you lie to these people. These are good people.
Poor Ashley's there feeling completely impugned. What have I got to do to this guy?
I don't know how to
It's tough, let me tell you.
I know, I imagine so.
It's tough. Constant grind.
Come on, Ashley, it's worth it. You know it.
Oh.
Hey.
I
Your future so much depends on you not finishing that sentence.
I mean, you did take down that bridge in the 60s, so you're kind of an asshole.
Oh,
nice,
now we're coming out. You came out.
Hey, I'm telling you what, Ryan, I'm surprised you didn't feel that in your kneecaps. It was such a low blow.
I did. I felt that in some other areas.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Listen, I've seen the pictures. I saw that rubble. I saw whose name was on that rubble. So,
and I told you what happened there. I told you that. My lawyers explained it to you too. Come on.
whatever you want to believe.
Whatever me. Just whatever me. Don't whatever me.
So, anyways, Steve, did you have questions about the Mothman? While I'm here, I can definitely answer.
Oh yeah, get her started on the Mothman. There you go.
Strap yourself in for this one, Steve. It's going to be a bumpy ride.
Oh yes.
I got a documentary to sell, folks. Leave me alone.
Steve.
I don't know. He's not paying attention.
Yeah, so I was just saying, I'm just doing a Google search on how many sightings of Dogman has been sighted in America or worldwide.
Quite a few. If you look up a cloaked hedgehog, the cloaked hedgehog map is actually a number of sightings.
I know there's been a few, like I said earlier, sightings in the UK.
Mm-hmm.
There's a file, there's a database file which is 683.78 kilobytes download.
Right.
I don't know if that's the actual database, but you've got to sign up on an account to get that downloaded.
I think you'll be surprised if you actually do a little bit of research on how many cryptids have been spotted throughout the British Isles, Steve.
Quite a few.
Yeah. Because what I'm seeing is that there's a lot of people stating that the Dogman's been sighted more in Michigan than anywhere else in the United States. Yeah, it's more like, the Dogman of Michigan, a legend with more sightings than whatever kind of thing. What is Dogman and how many claimed sightings have there been?
Ashley's absolutely chomping at the bit, going, "Ask me about Mothman."
Yeah,
I've talked about it a lot. I've already done one of these things already today. But I mean,
don't be so modest. You love it.
I know.
She absolutely does. She just,
all that validation. Hell yeah, I do.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sorry, was you asking me something, Dave, when I was looking on Google?
I was bringing your attention to Ashley asking you if you had any questions about Mothman, which you alluded to when she was in the chat.
Yeah, sorry.
Now that she's up here, she can answer them for you.
I'm going to let the lady take the floor. I'm going to get some more coffee. So,
well, I haven't changing the subject from Mothman to Dogman. If she ever does a stream on Mothman, and I can jump on and talk about that time.
If she does a stream on what's this? Yeah. If she'll do one. Don't worry about that.
Or if she's always welcome on our channel, we can talk about it on my channel.
Yeah, I mean, it's.
I encourage you to talk about it right now. Get her started. She knows her.
I've got subscribed anyway. I subscribed to you when I came on. Actually, got some interesting stuff on your channel. It's just like with the Dogman. To me, it was a myth, but I did look into it a little bit. And they state that the Mothman appears either before or after some kind of I can never pronounce that word. Some kind of like thing that's going to happen.
Like that's like an omen.
There's a fate station, or what it's bloody called.
Sure.
I remember one where somewhere in America a bridge was about to collapse, and he was shown. He showed himself. Right. Before the bridge collapsed, and a lot of people died over it. So it's more like him kind of. I think what he's just trying to say is that he showed himself before some kind of disaster happened. And
go ahead.
and that's it, really. You know, I've not really looked into it, but if the disaster is going to happen, he's always shown himself, or it's either before or after some.
Okay, I know where she's going to go with this. So
yeah, I do too, Ryan. Yeah,
the bridge. It wasn't me. I was nowhere near the bridge.
I was not even going to say anything about the bridge.
Absolutely was going to mention it. You know that.
Don't believe anything she says. Ryan was not at Point Pleasant that day, even though Ashley says I was.
I believe you, brother. Trust me, I believe you, bro. Yeah.
Awesome, Dave. Well, love you, man. All right, and I will be back shortly. I'm gonna get some more coffee, so have at it, Ashley.
So, like I was saying before, I was rudely interrupted by Ryan and his bridge collapsing self. I was not even going to mention it, but okay, Ryan. Anyway, so that's actually a very common misconception. I mean, yes, the Silver Bridge and Point Pleasant, West Virginia, connecting Point Pleasant to Ohio, or West Virginia to Ohio, it did collapse after a solid year of sightings of the Mothman. However, which a lot of people don't really talk about, sightings continued after that bridge collapsed in the area. And there are active sightings right now of the Mothman in Chicago, dating back to around probably 2016. And nothing disastrous has happened yet in Chicago. I mean, it's Chicago, so it's not a great place, but nothing major. And then there's also active sightings happening in Kentucky as well. But it doesn't help the case that before the Chernobyl nuclear meltdown happened, there were sightings that they called the Blackbird of Chernobyl of something that looked very similar to the Mothman. And then, of course, the nuclear reactor went down, and that was terrible, and we all know. But I don't necessarily think that the Mothman is a bad omen because, otherwise we'd have disasters everywhere, because really he's seen all over the world, just like anything else. He's just not called the Mothman. People just call him something else. And so it's tying those things together to figure out, that these are actually the same creature.
Yeah, before you said that, he's been seen all over the world, there was rumors going around that it's supposed to be some guy dressed up, acting as like some kind of like mythical creature. And that's what I thought it was originally. But it had been, like you said, it's been seen for so many years, in different locations of, United States. And, you ain't going to have one guy dressed up as a Mothman traveling the whole of the United States of America, are you really?
Yeah, well, I don't know. It is America. You should see some of the people here. But
fair enough.
But no, really, yeah. I don't think it's a flesh and blood creature. I think that it's definitely ultra terrestrial, but I don't think that it's some type of message. Now, the interesting thing about Point Pleasant is that they have this story, and they refer to it as the Curse of Cornstalk. And Chief Cornstalk actually died on Point Pleasant soil when the Americans, or not the Americans, but the white people came over and destroyed all the Native Americans. And anyway, as he was dying on Point Pleasant property, he cursed the land. He put a curse on the land. Yeah. And so some people believe that the Mothman, could be a manifestation of that curse. Point Pleasant does have a very, very unfortunate history. And their jail, they have a jail there, and it exploded in the 50s. Then you had the bridge collapsed in the 60s. The munitions power plant is down in the area from World War II. And while it was operating, the city was booming, but as soon as it left, it's never recovered from poverty. So, it is a town, that's built off of, depression, basically. But I don't think that the Mothman is part of that. I just think that he just happened to be at the wrong place at the wrong time for the association to happen. So.
Yeah, but they apparently have a museum and a gift shop there, after, all to do with the Mothman. They even have a statue of him there, don't they?
Yeah, that's my picture. I'm at the Mothman Museum. That's what it says behind me. I'm there all the time. They do. So the whole town has created this kind of gimmick of the Mothman, and that's how they've been able to recover from being so poor and without jobs. Is that they market as a tourist attraction, and they have a festival every year.
Yeah, I was going to say they do some kind of celebration or festival over the Mothman, don't they, each year?
Yeah, they do. They do a big festival in September, and when they do this, it brings in 80% of the town revenue for the entire year. So they live off of that festival. So they did not have it last year, and it was very unfortunate for the town because I mean they need it. So
Yeah.
but that's so a lot of people think that it could be that the town could be taking advantage of the Mothman sightings because they kind of need to. I don't think that's the case. I think there were sightings of something strange. I think when you talk to the witnesses and you find out their stories, I mean, they're obviously they saw something, but is he still there? I don't think he's still there.
So,
yeah,
do you think
that would carry that?
Do you think it's some kind of like spiritual energy that the Indians was able to conjure up and it disappears every so often then?
I think there definitely could be, but I don't think that the Mothman's related to it.
Yeah, Matthew's in the basement, Nubs.
Oh,
hello, Matthew.
I'm back. There we go.
He's waiting in the basement. Matthew, brother, how are you doing, sir?
What is up, Matt?
Hello, my brothers and sister.
Hi.
How are you doing?
All right, how about y'all? I am still at work. Y'all have to bear with me. I'm doing reports, but I'll be off and on, and my signal is going to be crap here. So
excuses, Matt.
Just quit your job. You don't need it.
Yeah, I was just going to say, what's new anyway, Matt? Your signal's always crap.
I think the only time we hear Matthew, the only time we can hear you, Matthew, clearly when you're doing your reports. That's the only time.
Usually when he comes on, his audio sounds like Stephen Hawking's going down a cobbled road.
Yeah.
That was dark.
Sorry.
I was going to say Stephen Hawking sitting on a washing machine, but
whatever works, brother. Whatever spins your wheels.
Oh, we got Grinch in the chat. What up, Grinch?
What's up, Grinch?
What's up, Grinch?
Hey, Max.
Grinchster.
So, what did the Mothman have? Like half the body as a moth, and the rest of the body was like human, like legs.
No, not at all. They actually kind of called him the Mothman as like a type of kind of joke. He's actually more of a dark, humanoid figure with wings and these glowing red eyes, but he looks more like a person.
Yeah.
They called him the Mothman because actually one of the witness reports that they got, somebody said that they saw Batman on the roof of the neighbor's house.
Oh,
so they couldn't call him Batman, so they started calling him Mothman. So it's everybody, and then they made the damn statue, and it looks like a moth, and I don't know why they did that.
What's it that a lot of these mythical creatures always have deep red bloody eyes?
Give me a second, my boss is coming. Sorry.
Well, there's a reason. I think that there's a reason for that, and the reason for that is because these are, they're not terrestrial. So, because most of them, the things that you're talking about that have these big red eyes, they're not flesh and blood creatures. And I think that they're related in some type of way. I mean, either by some type of species, or maybe they're from, it sounds strange, but maybe they come from, the same type of galaxy. I think that they're basically aliens, is the basics of it.
This is where you the Twilight Zone theme.
I think sometimes as well, you look at, I don't know, say naturalized or, not normal animals, if you like, Steve, that we get in low light conditions. If you shine white light upon their eyes, you get eye shine coming back as like an orange, sometimes reds, greens, So maybe
yellows is part of it. You can, but I think there's a big difference between eye shine and something glowing, that actually projecting a glow. Personally, so I don't know.
It's like with the albino people, they have like green eyes or blue eyes, don't they? Albinos.
I guess I don't understand the question.
No, I think he's just totally killed the chat with that one.
The same with albino, humanoid albinos, which is very rare. They have different colour eyes. Like they're supposed to all have the same colour eyes. They never have different colour eyes. Like a group of albinos will probably have like deep blue inset eyes. You won't see anyone from that group with a different colour eye, like being green or blue or grey or anything like that.
Yeah, that's definitely. I mean, they different. I mean, there's so much variation in the eye shine. like we were saying, there's orange, there's yellow, there's red,
There's blue.
green, blue. It can be blue. It depends, on the condition of the creature's eyes and what it is exactly. So I mean, eye shine is a very valid, but I think some of these things that people are seeing are have very exaggerated features, and maybe that's why the eyes tend to glow more. Like when you look in the case of like the Flatwoods monster, the eyes were massive, and they glowed yellow.
Point, yeah. Mags, I thought you said you were going to bed, young lady.
She fibbed, Dave. She fibbed.
Yeah, evidently so, sir. Evidently so, yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to bed. Sorry, Steve. I'm going to go to bed. I'm going to watch you on the bed. I'm going to just type in a message. Yo, Vassia. I'm going to go to bed.
You've just been pulled up on your English, Steve. Apparently your English isn't correct.
Well, you know my English.
Albino.
Yeah. Albino. Yeah, don't even start with that. Don't even start with that stuff, Beth. American English.
How dare you say an Englishman's English is incorrect?
Right?
I know, you hear it all the time. When you see it on the keyboard, like American English layout, it's like, come on, behave.
The Banshee. Charlotte Banshee, Surprise Forever.
Yeah, there's some similarities between the Banshee and the Mothman, but not a lot of similarities.
Think about the legend of Spring-Heeled Jack. He was like jumping about all over the place with wings, wasn't he?
We were just talking about him, actually.
Yeah?
Yeah, we're going to do a show about that guy.
Oh, well, say no more then. Let's not ruin it.
It's going to be pretty interesting.
Yeah, I'm sure it will. Yeah.
Went down so many rabbit holes with that one, too, man. Headache City with that.
You
Headache City, you love it.
He does love it.
I love the pain. What can I say?
So you're like a cryptid sadomasochist?
Yes. They lash me. I'm like, thank you, sir. May I have another?
That's perfect.
Oh, Mag said potato salad. I'm coming over. Ashley
Sorry, man. Go on. Sorry. Go on, brother.
Yeah, Ashley never feeds me, so I got to get food where I can get it.
You're grown, Ryan. You can make your own damn food.
Well, stop keeping me in the basement then.
You wouldn't like the food that I eat. Stop keeping you in the basement. Well, you know what? Stop talking back, and maybe you'll get let out every once in a while.
Yep. Simple word. One word will save all your problems, Ryan. Behave.
Yeah, Ryan.
Oh God!
I like how everyone just instantly turns on Ryan. So I mean, see, it's not just me.
It's okay. I'm going to make another wondrous intro video for the next time he comes on my stream. Beth, don't worry about it. You're saying I'm just saying I had to think a moment about what you actually said. I do, and I'm from the same country, so don't worry about
it. Yeah, because see, in America we have that Beano, the anti-gas stuff. When you're saying albino, we're kind of like, wait, what?
He's a good lad, Steve. You know, he's always got a lot of questions. He's always interested in it. You know, enthusiastic about it.
He said some really good questions, actually.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I like his questions. I think he definitely has a lot of out of the box questions.
Those are the best kind.
Yeah, it's hard to find. It's hard to find good interviewers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Like just said the funniest thing, you know, was saying, but have you ever been to the Mothman Museum, like plastered all over your avatar? And he's staring right at the screen. He's like, "Oh, Steve."
Oh, wow, it is, ain't it?
Yeah, it is.
Don't lie, Ashley. That's just a poster you have in your house. Don't lie.
It is. Yeah, that's what I just have all these posters. I have a Mothman statue in my home that I take pictures with. I've never actually
shrine to him. She worships the bastard.
You know what? Whatever. No, yeah, that's that. I thought that was pretty funny, but it's okay. I mean,
Oh God.
Oh, we have fun with this Mothman thing. Don't get us started.
What's the longest amount of time Mothman was actually seen
like consecutively in an area. I think probably the Chicago sightings that are still happening. Like I said, those have been going on since 2016, and they're still to date. There's been sightings this year.
And when was it when they first had sightings?
It was 2016.
2016. So that's
Possibly even dating back further. I
but
haven't
how far
really.
back did they go? Actually, like historically, when was the very first sighting?
Oh, well, that's a really good question. I guess I'm not sure. I haven't gotten that far into my investigation yet.
I'm surprised. Oh, I'm disappointed.
I know I haven't pinpointed that yet. Well, it just depends. This is a tough case. It really is, because, like I said, they only just now started calling him Mothman in 1966. So.
So the earliest one that you've managed to ferret out so far, then, Ashley?
So far, I think it starts in Point Pleasant for me. But I would have to consult. I have another person that I work with, and she probably has an earlier sighting.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, it's definitely. I mean, it's been around for a while, and it just depends. What is this thing? If we go back to some things that could be related to the Mothman are like the Kelly Hopkinsville goblins could potentially be a species of the Mothman. It's possible that it's a maybe like a juvenile version of the Mothman. They look very similar, except they don't have wings. And that was in 1950 something or the other. So it really just depends on what you classify, what you consider that could possibly be the Mothman. And that's why it gets kind of strange, especially when you think that, when you have a theory that all these creatures are related to one another.
Yeah, it becomes a very strangled and like diverse set of paths, doesn't it, really?
It does. It can be, it can be exhausting sometimes. I have to take time off of it every once in a while, but
You got Sheila's attention now. You said goblins. Uh-oh. It's
yeah,
on.
I mean, I could talk about goblins too.
So I suppose the
talk about
Dogman goes further back than the Mothman, really, don't it?
What man does? Ryan was speaking when you were then.
I think the Dogman goes further back. The Dogman goes further back than the Mothman, then, doesn't it? I suppose.
Oh yeah, he goes way, way back. First recorded sighting we have of Dogman is from 1875.
Yeah.
So it goes really far back.
I think as far as like what we know, I would probably beg to differ. I'd almost guarantee that there's some pretty ancient.
Well, there are. I mean, I'm saying that's the first recorded one. That's the first time somebody recorded seeing this.
Yes, I agree with that.
Not anybody from way, way before then. So
you haven't talked to anybody from the 1700s, Ryan? I mean, geez.
No, seances never work out for me. Ashley, I told you this.
You got to get it together, man.
You know what? I don't need your shit today.
Pull your finger out, lad.
But yeah, no, I would say as far as like popularity goes, in what we know in the common knowledge, yes, I'd say Dogman goes back further.
Oh yeah, and then Bigfoot goes back even further than Dogman.
Oh yeah, definitely. And then I would think stuff like aliens probably go back even further.
You're dealing with thousands and thousands of years there, aren't you? Even cave drawings and cave paintings are showing that.
Sure.
Mesopotamia, your Hittites were reporting them, Sumerians.
Oh yeah, definitely. I don't have, I'll be honest, and it probably makes me a poor investigator, but that's why I prefer to work with other people. I don't have much patience to sift through history and figure out these things. I don't know if it matters that much, honestly. I don't know if that would help to propel things forward, unless I have a specific special interest in something. It's just not something that I sit around and read a lot about, and that's just me though. That's my style.
Yeah, I'm the same way.
I don't think it's I'm sorry, Ryan. Sorry, I was just going to say I don't see that as being a bad thing, because I see that as being able to focus or hone in on more on what you're actually trying to achieve and find out information about, rather than being distracted and going off on tangents because of different elements that sort of might come in. A bit like circles within circles that overlap a little bit could sort of pull you off a little bit maybe. So maybe it's a more focused style of investigating.
Absolutely.
I think so. I mean, I think if I spent all of my time reading about all of this ancient history and stuff, I think it would be a lot of time wasted that I could have spent being physically out in the field doing research.
Right.
What I was going to say is maybe the aliens were the cause of the dinosaur extinction. Maybe they didn't want dinosaurs on the planet, so they made them extinct and put us on here instead.
That's a possibility. I've definitely spoken about not just creationism with humans, but just basically where humans started. And there's definitely theories that we aren't native to Earth. And I mean, it's kind of one of those things that we might
Here's
not
my
ever.
problem though. If we're aliens, where's my superpowers, man?
Yeah, there you go.
Incredibly ripped off.
There you go.
Shouldn't the yellow sun grant me flying and super strength and all this good stuff? And
No, because your superpower is opposable thumbs, right?
that's all I get. I'm ripped
Yeah.
off. I feel guilty.
Yeah.
I'm disappointed.
You did.
No,
you got
because-
ripped off.
You've managed to be different, just like everybody else.
Right.
You're unique, like billions of other people. So welcome, Superman. Welcome. What type of superpower would you like as a cryptid hunter? What would you like? Like the ability to speak to these things, or the ability to see in the dark, or see through? What would you want?
The ability to speak to them would be perfect. It would just be weird. I mean, imagine being a Dr. Dolittle version of a cryptid.
Oh, that would be epic.
That'd be weird, though.
It would, yeah.
Run into one or two of them that know me. They're gonna be like, oh, "Crap, not this asshole." What do you want?
Go home. You don't want to mispronounce anything just in case it's mating season 2,
Right.
Oh my god.
So I don't know. I could be the Steve Irwin of cryptids. That would be awesome.
He was awesome. Full stop.
Agreed.
And then just die by something random.
No.
Like something horrible. Like you trip and fall on a branch in the woods, and then you're dead.
Right.
It's just.
After you made that statement, Nubs, you give the camera such a weird serial killing type of child abducting stare.
Yeah. So strange. Damn.
Whoa, brother. Whoa. Whoa.
I would definitely have to adopt an Australian accent, though.
Why is that, mate?
Just to creep up on one. Like, crikey, look at the size of the Sasquatch here.
Jeez, mother, I was one step away from trying to get some kind of Windows 10 version of Mace to spray on the screen.
Yes, please.
You're making us all uncomfortable, Nubs.
Look at that. Look, he's happy.
His eyes, man. His eyes are creepy. But the eyes, if he stares at you long enough, it'll hypnotise you.
He's got great eyebrows. I'm jealous.
You mean eyebrow?
Yeah, they are kind of epic.
Nubs, but I can't put my finger on it.
Yeah, me neither. Something about that boy.
Yeah, me neither.
Not being rude, but he's a bit of a hairy geezer, isn't he? I want, like, seeing him next to a Sasquatch, I probably might mistake him as a Sasquatch.
Don't interrupt him while he's lighting up a joint.
Is that Nubs or there's a Sasquatch standing out?
Nubs is there. Nubs is there thinking I can't wait till the end of this stream so I can get a bag of Doritos and
Doritos.
You know it.
It's not already out a drone at your house, Bess.
It's not like you play streams and streams and streams for hours on end.
Nah, he's a lightweight.
Himself.
Nah, he's a lightweight, Nubs. He's only playing at it. He's only a baby. What's your longest stream, Nubulator?
17 hours.
God, man, I take
a lot longer than
I'm doing the 30 hours.
Wrong, Steve. Just goes to show how much attention you pay to my channel yet again, doesn't it?
You nearly done a 24, didn't you?
I've done an 18.5-hour stream.
Yeah.
I was there for that whole thing.
And it was appreciated as well, Dallas. So you appreciated you being there, brother. Thank you.
Everybody got to see my nipples that night.
For 18 hours.
Well, you know what it's like when you get going, Steve. It's easily done, isn't it?
I know what it's like when we're doing our channel, like streams, but fucking 18 hours, mate. Jesus.
I think something like 3.5 or 4 hours worth of it was just a spirit box session with people using different apps and different spirit boxes from different parts of the world. So it was like an international spirit box session. It was pretty cool.
That's the thing Ryan could do. Take a spirit box in there so they can communicate with a deceased Dogman.
Oh, there you go. That's an idea.
Because do you think that, even like there's a saying that, with anyone, in the world that, speak different languages, once they die and they want to communicate, their main language automatically goes to English. So a German who speaks German will suddenly automatically know English straight away as a default language. Now, would that possibly happen to animals as well?
I don't see why it couldn't.
Yeah.
I mean, it's definitely a possibility. I'd be willing to look into that.
Because, there's been rumours like, people see apparitions of their deceased dogs and cats and, whatever.
Oh, yeah.
So, people have actually tried communicating with their lost animals, and sometimes you might hear a dog bark or a cat meow. But how do we know that, they don't have some way of like learning, when we're actually talking to them, when we say sit, lay down or, dinner, they can understand us. So maybe in a spirit realm, they might be able to use the English language and try to communicate with me and say like, yeah, hey, Dad, it's me, Anna, your dog. That'd be kind of strange, wouldn't it?
That would be.
One of my dogs, he is he's extremely intelligent, and we're not training him to recognize words, but he right away picks words up. There's been a skunk outside, and we've been talking about it, and we'll go to the door and go, is there a skunk out there? And he knows, and it's not because we told him that there was a skunk out there. He just picks up on things so quickly. This dog, he's always thinking. So, I definitely think that it's possible to develop language between, creature or not creatures, but animals and humans, and they know what you're talking about without just positive reinforcement to do so. So you wouldn't necessarily have to train them to get it. They just get it.
So I'm thinking about monkeys, baboons, and because like scientists have actually got them to actually do sign language, haven't they?
Yes, Coco is an amazing case of communication. Coco is really that's just it's awesome. And she wasn't the only one. She was probably the most in-depth project, but they were definitely they were having her teach other other gorillas sign language and things like that, and she could.
Never know, we might get an apocalypse wave where we'll all die. The ape will become masters of the universe and be a bit like Planet of the Apes, and they'd be able to talk and we'd be their slaves.
Oh, I don't know. I don't think I could handle Charlton Heston coming back.
But it's fascinating, you've seen that, animals are, they have some kind of intelligence behind them to learn, sign language. And I can't remember what movie it was. There was an ape that done sign language, but they actually put a device on where it recorded her voice and actually translated into English. Congo, that's the one, yeah.
Great movie.
Yeah. So there could be a possibility of that happening one day,
You see that question, that Mags put forward. Mags there in the chat. I don't know if anybody wants to take that.
So do you think our domesticated dogs are descendant from the Dogman? No, definitely not.
I think it would be just the same as how, when people discuss evolution and they say, well, we didn't come from apes, or, we didn't come from gorillas. Well, we didn't. That's correct. And I think that would be a very similar science when you discuss things like Dogman compared to canines, domesticated canines, because what
evolution.
Some people say that we was generated from bacteria.
Yeah, well, that's true. Some people do think that. So, I mean, I think it's just an offshoot. I mean, I think evolution goes different ways, and so evolution on this side it went to canines, and on this side it went to Dogman, and but we see that example a lot because then on this side it went to it went to wolves, and on this side it went to coyotes, and so it's not far fetched. Are they related? Yes. Are they descendant? No.
Look at you, the Dogman expert.
The Dogman expert. Stop. I wouldn't say that. I mean, I'd say I have a pretty basic understanding of evolution, but
She didn't believe in Dogman at first. That's a funny thing.
I still don't know for sure if I believe in.
You know what? I don't want to hear that kind of talk come from you, Ashley. Nope.
It's hard because I believe Ryan, and I believe Ryan had a legitimate sighting. So I guess if I believe that Ryan saw a Dogman, then I have to believe that there's a Dogman, right? I mean,
yeah, that sort of carries. It doesn't leave you much room for maneuver, does it? Really?
Right. Well, I know. Well, and so that's why locally, I was saying in the chat, and Ryan acts like he's never heard about this, but I've been doing a Dogman investigation here because we have a Dogman. We have the Butter Street Beast or Butter Street Monster or whatever.
I did not say I didn't hear of it. I said I wasn't invited. There's a difference, Ashley.
Oh my God, Ryan! It's not that you aren't invited. Jesus. You're invited. You can come along if you want. But so we've been out trying to find this Dogman. And not just that, there's been a lot of strange happenings in that general area. So we've been out there quite a bit, trying to figure it out. We haven't found anything yet, but it's been winter here. So in all fairness, we haven't really been out much.
So I've only known Ryan since I've been on here, and I don't think he's a type of person who would bullshit. I think he's genuine. I think he had seen something that he can't really explain. Well, he can explain it, but if I saw something like that, I wouldn't probably be able to explain what I saw. And
yeah, it's impossible to really explain to people when they want to know exactly what you saw. How do you tell?
Because some people turn around and say, "Oh, you're imagining it. You're a fucking idiot. You're a liar."
I got plenty of
that. In
that.
the paranormal, you got to kind of understand that there are different things out there which we don't understand or we don't see, and when we do see it, it's a very rare opportunity to see things.
Right.
In the rainforest, they're always finding new kind of creatures out there which we've never seen before. Mm-hmm. So, why don't we get to see these creatures? Maybe they are kind of territorial and they want to be seen. It's just that we, the human, are being such arseholes in destroying so much forestry nowadays. They haven't got nowhere else to go, so they've got to kind of like find new locations. And when they're moving from point A to point B to point C, you are going to get a kind of a rare opportunity to see some unknown creature which we've never seen before.
Exactly.
Well, I mean, is that not sort of what's happening anyway with Bigfoot starting to be seen in more urban areas?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Now, Ryan, when you saw your Dogman, why do you think? I mean, do you think it didn't realize you were outside and it just walked up?
No. I think it knew I was outside. I think it actually knew I was there. That's why it came so close.
Why do you think it did that?
Curiosity.
Okay.
Or maybe it thought it was a female Dogman.
Well, maybe she saw me. She's like, "Hot damn!"
He already said it didn't have boobs, so I don't know.
Would they though? I mean, are they going to have breasts like a human female, or are they going to have teats like female dogs?
Like dogs, probably teats like I don't know.
I mean, I don't know. The one that Roy saw had female breasts, but I honestly I don't know.
Yes, Beth. I'm gonna go there. Devil's Tramping Ground.
My defense though, I wasn't looking. I mean, I wasn't like, hey, let's see what she's built like.
Yeah, there was Shire. Yeah, there was a report in Manchester. Yeah.
And why do you think it walked away? I mean, why do you think it was? It came, it saw you, and it didn't take the opportunity to cause some time? Because there have been reports of these things being dangerous.
Oh yeah, I think it was just curiosity satisfied though. Because I didn't do any violent moves. I didn't try to hurt it or attack it. So I think it just kind of figured, all right, well, I'm not going to hurt you. You're not going to hurt me. So peace out.
It just came up. It was like, yeah, I can take them, and just walked away.
It might have been it. Maybe it was sizing me up to see if it could take me down if it had to, and then it realized, well, he's no threat, so we're good, I guess. So I'm gonna.
I reckon if Ryan was walking around with a rifle in his hand and he was out hunting, then maybe, if it's got that intelligence, it might have felt threatened, thinking that it was going to be shot by Ryan, and then maybe he would have took an aggressive move towards him.
Well, it did bluff charge. I mean, that's as aggressive as it got. You know, it
Did you
didn't.
have a rifle?
Right.
Did you have a rifle or anything with you?
I mean, if I had a weapon, I'm pretty sure it would have charged and tackled, but it just, you know, it saw it wasn't going to do anything wrong.
What's up, Jose?
Hello, Jose. How are you doing, brother?
Oh, we got Jose here. Sweet. What's up, dude?
Well, tonight's stream has been fun. I'm glad that we did it. I'm probably going to end it here in a second. So I got stuff I got to do.
Well, thanks for letting me on. Appreciate
Thanks
it.
all y'all for coming up.
Yeah, thanks for hosting it, brother.
Yeah, in 2 weeks, not next week, but the week after, we are doing the Mothman series. So.
Uh-oh.
That'd be cool.
There you go, Ashley.
Oh, is that my cue? Huh? Is that?
Yeah.
No, we don't want you there at all. What are you talking about?
Then we're going to talk about the Loch Ness Monster after that.
Ooh,
Nice. What do you think? We like you, Ashley? We don't like you at all. Jeez.
It's been all right, Nubs. It's been okay. I'll give you 3 out of 10 for it.
When are you going to be doing the Chupacabra?
Oh, Nubs, you love it.
Yeah.
When are you going to do Chupacabra?
That's going to be after the
Loch
Loch
Ness.
Ness Monster one. So I'm definitely going to have that on there. Because that one seems really interesting also.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, what's up, David?
But everybody, y'all have a good one.
All right.
Later.